Question was, as a participant in the raid, personally for you, how long did it take you to realize or did you ever consider immediately that, man, if we had gone last month in October, we might have got them? How long did it take?
No.
Was it until they were repatriated in 1973?
Well, we knew that they were gone at least 2 months before the raid. So going in October wouldn't have made any difference. The result would have
when
been
did
the
you know
same.
that?
When the POWs came home and Ross Perot gave Operation Homecoming Party in San Francisco, the Raiders were invited to attend. Right. I couldn't because I was.
So it was 1973.
So, 73. Yeah, that's when the word came out, and and it came very slowly because the returning POWs were controlled. So much information and their debriefing was held as secret. Right. But bits and pieces said, oh yeah, we knew that right away. Their livelihood has improved. But the details about how they organized, how they formed the 4th Allied Wing and all of that, we still don't know minor details about that, how they were able to communicate, how they were able to forge together and bring themselves up so they could come home with honor. You talk to the POW leaders and they hold that very dear. They're proud of what they did. But let me continue with how this thing evolved with Admiral Barchard.
Right. So they went out to
because
brief the
this was the key. He was the best man for the operation. Nobody has given, I think, as much to it as he did. Okay, so after our 3 leaders finished their briefing in Saigon, they flew to the Gulf of Tonkin, to USS America. General Blackburn excused himself. He had to go. Something else was happening in Washington, so he flew back to Washington. But it was only Manor and Simons that met with Admiral Barchard.
So Manor and Simons literally went out to the boat to sell the plane.
They stay overnight. They met on board of USS America, which was Barchard's flagship. And by the way,
what month was this?
5th of November. No. They were on board of ship was 8th of November.
8th of November.
Okay. I know something else happened on their way when they met McCain in Hawaii. McCain in Hawaii said very specifically, you deal directly with Admiral Barchard. No dealings with Mickey Wisner. Mickey Wisner was in charge of Naval 7th Fleet in Yokosuka, Japan. He specifically said he's going to be cut out of that. He's not supposed to know about this surgical operation, because if we release information about it to Yokosuka, Japan, and so on, we're going to lose control of the secrecy. Okay, so with this in mind, Manor and Simons go to Barchard, and Barchard also received word through McCain that you are dealing directly with me and those people who are visiting you. No Mickey Wisner. And oh boy, was he later on. He was very upset over that because he was past, even though he understood why, but he was upset. Anyway, Barchard was so impressed, and he said, I am going to give you a very creditable diversion. He said, I'm going to launch enough, because they were asking for 6 or 7 airplanes just to fly. And he said, we're going to have a launch. He said, I understand there'll be no ordnance launch. It will be all with rocketry, with flares. But I'm going to ensure that the North Vietnamese defenses east of Hanoi are exercised or tasked to their capacity.
Right. Well, so for people that aren't well steeped in the Vietnam War, what you're saying is essentially, because it wasn't just flares, because somebody that doesn't understand much about the battle space at that time might think, so he just said, yeah, I'm going to send airplanes up there and we're going to crap flares around your coastline.
Yeah.
It's much more than that, because North Vietnam had the most sophisticated AAA in the entire world at that time. The Soviets had put all of their best equipment in there, and they were very well painted on the coastline to protect Haiphong and Hanoi. So simply putting, it wasn't like, it's interesting that both Simons and Maynard were like, hey, we're just asking for a half dozen airplanes. And the Navy was like, no, we're going to do this. They literally filled the airspace with aluminum and titanium.
Yeah.
They put a bunch of airplanes up there. Yeah. More than had been put in years.
Yes.
They thought the world was coming to an end because their radars illuminated with aluminum and titanium coming from Yankee Station. Yeah. And they knew it.
Yes. Well, we knew,
and it freaked them out.
Yeah, the planners, we knew the capability. We knew there were 6 active SAM sites that we were going to deal with. I don't, if it was ever mentioned to us in the planning staff how many SAM sites they had east of Hanoi, I don't know, but I'm sure there were many.
Well, I'm sure there were many.
And Barchar wanted to activate all of them, like the full capacity of them. So he wanted to convince them that something was happening. Now, our thing was, just fly over the Gulf of Tonkin. It was a daytime war then. Right. He said, you fly over Gulf of Tonkin at night, they're going to wonder what the heck it is, and they will follow you with the radar. And Barchard, the way he instructed his planners, he wanted to stay out of harm's way on the periphery of the kill zone of the SAMs, but he did. Okay, so now we're going to do plans, but difficulties. The rule of thumb was Barchard will be instructed to give you all the support he needs. What has happened? He gets briefed by Bull Simons and Manor, and he doesn't tell them that the next day after they leave, they left on the 8th, and the next day USS America deployed back to the States. They left, so his flagship went to Kubi Point, and he established his headquarters at Kubi Point, waiting for USS Kitty Hawk that was going to come to Kubi Point, and that would be his next flagship.
Wow, that's actually very unusual, because the Navy has a history of flipping out on station, of doing the turnovers. The rip tower, we call it now. Who was
on station? Yeah. USS Oriskany was left on station as one lone carrier. Oriskany was also scheduled to rotate as soon as USS Ranger and USS Hancock arrived. See, this time period when the raid occurred, that was the changeover. That was the worst of times for the Navy to provide support. So Barchard had a problem. First, he delayed the departure of Oriskany. He couldn't delay USS America. That ship sent, canceled all the training, en route training that carriers do after they depart Hawaii. They go to the Pacific, and they take their good old time. Every airman gets to fly, and they test everything, so they're combat ready when they arrive. They canceled that. They said, "You steam in there." They came to Kubi Point ahead of schedule, and their time at the port was limited to the time it took to refurbish supplies and all of that, and zoom. They had to go in there. And guess what? Different bar chart said there will be no move reps. So there was no message sent that USS Ranger departed.
Was moving up the Yankee Station.
It was all done in secret. Same thing happens to Hancock, which followed. Okay,